EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present this first step on the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From La Quinta, California and PGA West, it's the opening round of the first tournament of the new year, the American Express. Well, it's been a long off-season. Everyone here looking to get their new year off on the right foot. What better place to do it than right here in La Quinta as we see what's going on here in round one. Our leader is the former Georgia Bulldog, Keith Mitchell. He's rolling early at 8 under par. Meanwhile, our featured golfer with some work to do as we have seen some low numbers already in this first round. We'll get right out to the action here as we head to the tee at the par 4 first. Frank, this is our golfer's first ever tournament as a professional on the PGA Tour. Now, you played a number of years on the European Tour before coming stateside, but take me back. What do you remember about your professional debut?
It's huge, Rich. I can remember it like yesterday. I was 19, and just how nervous you get. I was lucky enough that I had some friends that were professional golfers, and they took me aside, and they said, listen, you got 2 arms, you got 2 legs. You're just like everybody else in the field. Don't give in to them. But the nerves, too, you know, you feel like you're in somebody else's body, but they said the other bit of advice I got, nerves mean you care. So don't ever want to play without them. So great advice too. And this is a moment that they will always remember, your debut on the PGA Tour.
We lost this one to the left. That will miss left, and it is up into the mounds along this first fairway. Gonna take an extra club or two to get out of this mess as he sets for his second. And that ball couldn't quite get through unscathed. It's going to be knocked down by the leaves and wind up in the heavy stuff.
It's tough to take an extra club out of that lie, Rich, because it's always in the back of your mind. If you hit it properly, it's going to email the green.
Gave that one everything he had. I mean, really gouged it, and still, it was short. Okay, good putt there, but it is a bogey here at 1. And he's going to fall back now to 1 over par. You know, Frank, this is a great setting for kicking off the new season. This Palm Springs area weather is almost ideal every single year. It's kind of like golf in a dome. So what's the secret to being successful on desert courses like this? Because we've seen some really low scores through the years.
Rich, you nailed it. Dome-like conditions means everybody's going to go low. You're not really worrying about cross breezes. Plus, add that in that it's a relatively flat track. That means there's no elevation changes really to consider. Green's also relatively flat, so get that ball on the putting surface. Greens aren't overly quick, but really anything inside 20 feet, you're going to have a good look at it. And don't keep looking at that leaderboard, because if you think you're going to make birdies, everybody else is doing the same thing. Pedal to the metal.
Oh, and the tough start continues after the problems at 1. This one into the heavy stuff at the 2nd. This going to be very difficult to get to the green. It's his 2nd from a terrible lie. Problems starting to worsen now. Now getting ready for the approach shot here at hole number 2. Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Footer. That needs to slow a bit. Okay, that's still going to be a good 4 feet, though, coming back. Par 4 third's a good one at 471 yards. Ideal spot is the right side of this fairway. That way you keep it away from. EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present this first step on the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From La Quinta, California and PGA West, it's the opening round of the first tournament of the EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From a stunning setting Torrey Pines Golf Course in Southern California. It's opening round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open. Situated high on the cliffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean, what a golf course, Torrey Pines, and what a weekend we should have in store as we look at the leaderboard here in round one. The Stanford man, Maverick McNealy, is our leader. He's rolling early at 8 under par. Let's get out to the play as we pick things up at the par 4-7. Here at Torrey Pines, Frank, and I think you would agree, this is one of the prettiest settings on tour. Ocean to the west, Del Mar north of us, La Jolla and San Diego to the south. But let's talk about our featured golfer here. Things didn't go so well out in the desert. It was a missed cut at PGA West. What would your advice be for how to attack things this week?
Well, first and foremost, every great player, or every player that I've known over the history of this game has trunk slammed it more than once in their career. You put those clubs in the car and drive to your next event, try and change the mojo, get rid of the bad vibes. But this is a stern test this week. This is enough to get the concentration back. But, you know, I'm going to say this many a time in their career. You've got to hit the reset button. And this is the time, too, because the golf course demands too much out of you. Yesterday, last week, is long gone.
Nota Begay III is with us. And Nota, I always thought, and you would know better having been there, that learning to deal with disappointments, with setbacks, is absolutely crucial to becoming a successful professional player. So our featured golfer is back after missing the cut in their professional debut. What is the proper mindset as you try to rebound?
Well, the process at the professional level on the PGA Tour is about trial and error. You go out there and you apply the strategies that you think are going to work. If they don't work, you come back, you correct what you think went wrong, and then you come back out the next week and you try to make it right.
That would have helped, but now it's going to be a crooked number. Didn't go your way. It happens in golf, so just pick up and move on. We're here, of course, at Torrey Pines, the South Course. Long history of this event in San Diego, dating back to 1952. It's been here at Torrey since 1968. A lot of great winners. Frank, you've played the course a number of times. Overall, what are the things that a young golfer like this needs to keep in mind this week?
You have to remind yourself it's just a plain, hard, straight-up golf course. And plus, it's going to play every inch of its length because of the marine layer that often comes in. So you have that very dense air. We're obviously at sea level. And plus the Poa annua greens. You're going to miss the odd short putt. You can't let that get to you. You look around the leaderboard, you don't see the same 60-nothings that we saw the week before.
A bit too much there. That's going to hop into the bunker behind this 8th green. Yeah, the green just didn't want to hold that one. That'll run off into the short grass. So after escaping the bunker, this a third try at getting on this par 3. Not a good hole of golf here. It is that time to pick up and move on. Well, this is a strong par 5 to close out this front side. It measures 615 yards. Obviously, it's going to be reachable into by only the longest hitters, but still, if you play it the right way, drive in the fairway, the appropriate layup, you can make a birdie. Oh, that came out funny, and it started way left. That's going to be into the rough toward the hospital over there. Problems worsening here at the par 5. Playing a full 180 yards now. Time to pick up and move on. Always nice to kickstart your back nine with a birdie, and you'll have a chance. If, again, and we keep repeating this theme at Torrey Pines, if you hit a good tee shot, then you can attack. Well, this is left all the way.
Obvious power leak there. Tee shot didn't go very far, and it's in the rough. This hole just got a lot longer.
So a poor tee shot at 10, now his second. Well, I know I'm paid to talk, but there's not really much to say about that. Best to just move on to the next shot.
Had to take the boxing gloves off on that one. No touch whatsoever, and this is a long, long putt coming back.
Maybe not what you're hoping for from that number, but no damage. It's on the green. Lengthy putt here of 27 feet. Time to just pick up and move on to the next hole. For the golfer we had our eye on, no other way to say it, Frank, just not a real good day out there.
It could be a short week, Rich. We can complain about the conditions and that, but look at the leaderboard. The rest of the field, they didn't have a problem.
So one round in the books at the Farmers Insurance Open, already shaping up to be a great weekend. We've got coverage from Torrey Pines tomorrow starting bright and early at 8 a.m. Pacific. We'll see you then. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From La Jolla, California, just north of San Diego, live second-round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open. So much to behold here at Torrey Pines, the ocean, the cliffs, the trees, the green grass, the blue sky, maybe even a paraglider or two as we check out the Friday leaderboard. The Stanford man, Maverick McNeely, is our leader. He's currently at 8 under. Time to head out to the course as we pick things up on the tee at the par 4 12th. And after the contact, that ball goes straight into the heavy rough. Down on the course, let's check in with Notah Begay III.
111 left to the hole. Ball sitting up very nicely in the rough. Gap wedge, bad miss, way left.
Oh! And that is not the spot to be.
Now, that ball was certainly sitting down, but I don't know how hard you could have to hit that, even get it on the green. So, halfway. Now, golf can be a lonely game at times. Another wasted shot, and the job is far from done. It is a game of touch, and it is evidence right there when your touch is out. What a difference it makes. That ball went a long way past.
Oh, that is not slowing down. And it'll roll right on by, right off the green. Moving now to the massive 621-yard par 5 13th. You'll need a drive of 240 yards plus to carry that canyon. And if you go for the green in 2, the second shot has to carry 260 yards or so. Oh. Time to move on to the next hole. We now arrive at the 437-yard par 4 14th at Torrey Pines. The canyon running along the left side of the fairway is the danger here. Well, next week the California swing continues. We head up the coast to Pebble Beach. There's nothing like it. The AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Yeah, it started all those years ago with all the Hollywood stars. The great Bing Crosby used to be called the Clambake, but look what it's turned into now. Now golfers are the stars. And if you want to be part of this, there's no better place. Come to Pebble Beach.
Oh!
Well, hit the stroke limit on that one. The 15th hole is up next, a par 4 at 480 yards. Not a whole lot to it. A tee shot of the fairway should leave you with a reasonable approach into a green with bunkers left and right. So conditions were tough out there, Frank. Our featured golfer could never really put it together, and it's going to mean a missed cut.
I got to be honest, Rich.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the Monterey Peninsula, live opening round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Blue skies on top of blue waters, right next to one of the prettiest pieces of green grass on this good earth, as we check out the leaderboard here in round one. Your leader is Adam Scott. He's on the move early at 5 under par. So let's get out to the course as we pick up the action starting at the par 4 11. So many great golf courses here on the Monterey Peninsula. We're at Pebble Beach for this, the third tournament on the PGA Tour schedule this year. And Frank, we look at the golfer we're going to be following. Rookie on this tour, still looking to play the weekend for the first time after 2 missed cuts. Is there a danger of getting too discouraged early on?
There certainly is, and I think that's exactly where the player feels right now. If all of a sudden it's 3 in a row, you start to think, have I made the right decision? But I remember a line from the late, great Arnold Palmer. He said, this game is 90% mental, and the other 10%, well, that's mental as well.
And that will work its way just off the green and set up a shot from the fringe. Ten-foot putt left. Frank, this whole area of the country, Monterey, Carmel, 17-mile drive, just such a stunning setting for golf. We're just taking a nice drive with the emerald green fairway set against the ocean blue. It's just ideal. But talk to me about playing the course, Pebble Beach. What should a young golfer like this keep in mind when teeing it up for the first time as a professional?
Rich, it's the polar opposite of the drive-in, where you decompress and look at the views. Because once you get onto that first tee at Pebble, it's a wonderful golf course designed by Jack Neville. You're going to realize that no 2 holes look the same. I mean, that's stating the obvious there, but side hill lies when you play it towards the Pacific. And then you sort of beat your way around the golf course. The beautiful downhill par 3 7th. I know it's talked about and it's photographed, but that's where you start scratching your head and like, do I have the right club? And that's a feeling you get at Pebble so often around this golf course. But I mentioned 7, so I've got to mention 8, 9, and 10. In my opinion, they're the 3 best par 4s in a row. in any golf course I've ever seen. I mean, they're beautiful driving holes and iron play, but, you know, Pebble's about the experience, but it's also about the legacy that this golf course has for America. So to compete at Pebble is one thing. To play well at Pebble, well, that's another thing as well.
That will be a 3 over on the scorecard for this hole. Time to pick up and move on. Frank, the 13th hole doesn't get as much fanfare as some of the more picturesque par 4s here at Pebble Beach. Just curious, what do you think of this 13th hole?
I think it's a good hole, Rich, because it rewards you. You can certainly make 3 here. I remember when Tony Jacklin actually made an eagle here, but it's very easy to mess up. Purely because they added those 3 bunkers in on the right side that start at 260 yards and finish at just over 290 yards. What that has done to this hole is actually shrunk the fairway to just 35 yards wide. Completely mistimed that, and not only is there a long way to go, but also out of the rough.
Not in the fairway, but not a real problem here at the 13th, getting set to play his second shot.
Well, this is easily and quickly getting out of hand. 6 shot now to the fairway bunker. Does not want to hit that lip in front of him.
Needs a clean strike here. We arrive now at the 582-yard par 5 14th. It is one of the hardest holes on the PGA Tour, year in, year out. This is a bear. And that one gonna be into the bunker off the tee. Getting out more important than distance here as he readies his second. That is straight into the thick stuff. Nah, that's not going to escape it. More troubles there. So our featured golfer well back after round one and now likely in a fight just to play the weekend.
I think they were in a different zip code today, Rich. It was like watching two different players, really. The ones at the top of the leaderboard and, our cherished featured player. Not that good today.
So for Frank Nobilo, Notah Begay III and EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From beautiful Pebble Beach, California, it's live second-round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Well, let's face it, Mother Nature's just showing off this week. Pebble Beach, one of the crown jewels of American sport in all its glory. As we look at the Friday leaderboard, the leader is Matt Kuchar. He's currently at 8 under. As for our featured golfer, a rough Thursday round means today could very well be the end of the line this week. Time to head out to the course as we pick things up on the tee at the long par 5 sixth. Oh no. Nope, that just did not look right from the start, and that ball is into the hazard. So he'll take the drop and now go about trying to somehow save par, and this will be his third to the par 5. Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Tee at number 7, and Frank, this is the shortest hole in championship golf. It is also one of the most beautiful holes in championship golf.
Yeah, it certainly is, and people assume that short is easy, but just look how small that target is.
And that is going to be tough in there. That is into the heavy stuff. Still work to do to get this on the green. This is second. Digs into the bunker, getting set to play the third shot. And that ball not wanting to cooperate, and it is into the hazard. So now with the drop taken, this is going to be his 5th at the par 3. It happens. You have a tough hole. Time to pick up and move on after the triple bogey. Now to one of the most picturesque par 4s in the world, the 8th hole here at Pebble Beach. Jack Nicklaus, who won the U.S. Open here, called it simply the greatest second shot to a par 4 anywhere in the world. We'll remind you that coming up next week, we move from the serenity of the Pacific Ocean here at Pebble Beach to a scene that will be anything but calm. That is the Waste Management Phoenix Open down at TPC Scottsdale. Frank, I always think different venues, sort of different soundtracks. Pebble is crashing waves with Argyle sweaters. The Waste Management Phoenix Open, it's like a nightclub in Prague at about 2 in the morning.
And I've been to Prague too, yeah. Except Prague doesn't have the 700,000 people. It's the greatest gate. Some say the greatest show on grass. It really is. That 16th hole, I'll tell you just one quick little story. Tom Watson, in his heyday with the late Bruce Edwards on the bag, it was the one hole he changed his routine. He would get Bruce to go ahead to the tee, all those people around, and he'd just say, give me the club and hit it. That was the one time he broke tradition. It's absolute frenzy at Scottsdale.
The 2019 U.S. Open number 9 was the hardest hole on the golf course. Frank, give yourself certainly a good crack at 4 by hitting the fairway.
And that's all you wanted to do in 2019. It's fine to say all too, but having to hit the left side of this fairway just to keep it in play, and then once again hit into, I know we say this a lot here, but a very narrow green and a very small green, but this time with a long club. That's a pretty good break there to finish up in the first cut. With that ball sitting up fairly well, a lot more options available.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. So, Frank, this a very difficult Friday for our featured golfer. Nothing seemed to go right. And this is going to wind up an MC. That stands for missed cut.
Not hammer, that's for sure.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, from the wetlands, it's live opening round coverage of the Florida Classic. What might we have in store for us over the course of these next 4 days? We've got big names, we've got dark horses, we've got it all as we look at the leaderboard on this Thursday. Cameron Young from Wake Forest is your leader. He's already at 9 under par. Meanwhile, our featured golfer with some work to do as we have seen some low numbers already in this first round. We'll get out to the action here as we pick things up on the par 4 6th hole. All right, that's a board, but a lot of green between ball and hole. Ooh, almost fell, just a few inches from dropping.
Sometimes the game just isn't fair.
That goes down, but it's a 6 at the par 4. And that's going to move him back to 2 over par. Next up, the 592-yard par 5 7th bends gently from right to left, and really long hitters can get home in two with a couple of well-struck shots. The wetlands not really in play here. That ball went straight down into the heavy rough. Ooh. And that ball couldn't quite get through unscathed. It's going to be knocked down by the leaves and wind up in the heavy stuff. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green, but it's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop-off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So, tricky little par 3.
And that ball slowed up just enough that it's going to come down in an area of thick rough. Still some ground to cover to get this close. It's his second. Needing to get this close. It's his third at the par 3.
The scorecard doesn't lie, and the touch has been missing today. More evidence, sadly, there.
Always so frustrating when you hit a putt that comes up that short.
This from 7 feet. Oh dear, that is far too firm for that short of a putt. And it will head all the way off the green. Whoa! Finishing out the front side with yet another lengthy par 5, the 9th measuring 621 yards, but still reachable for the bombers out there with 3 bunkers protecting against your approach shot. Yeah, that's a nice swing, and the result is going to be a tee shot that is set up just fine. Okay, not particularly close, but a chance for the putter to do its thing. So 1 round complete, and Frank, this is such a good field this week. We may see the cream rise to the top come Sunday.
I hope you're right, Rich.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, from the wetlands, we bring you live second-round coverage of the Florida Classic. Things starting to slowly take shape here on this Friday. For some, it is a race for the top prize. For others, it's a fight to stick around for the weekend as we show you the leaderboard. Cameron Young from Wake Forest is your leader. He's at 9 under. We get into the action here starting at the par 3 fourth. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either, sitting up in the short grass. Now from below the green, a second up to this par 3.
.21-foot putt set to go.
Didn't go your way. It happens in golf, so just pick up and move on. Down to the 5th hole here at the Wetlands. Par 5, 635 yards. A lot going on here, Frank.
The shorter hitters don't really worry about the swampland on the left because it really only cuts in to worry the longer hitters if you want to try and reach this par 5 and 2. So shorter hitters, 2 good shots, set up a wedge shot. Longer hitters, are you straight enough to hit it into the narrowest part of the fairway?
Oh, he's pulled it. I thought maybe that ball could get through, but instead it's down into the heavy stuff. Oh, and this hole can really play with your mind. That is one you'd like to have over again. So with a penalty stroke added in, now line 3, readying for shot number 4. And that ball definitely slowed up a bit. It'll wind up coming down in the heavy rough. That might have been okay if it stayed in that thinner rough, but I think this popped into that deeper area. Not a good hole of golf here. It is that time to pick up and move on. On to the par 4 sixth here at the Wetlands. And Frank, how does that water factor into the way you play this hole?
It bisects this fairway beautifully, Rich. 233 yards to the run out on the first section of fairway. And that might be worth considering for the short hitters to try and flash it across the narrowest part of those wetlands. 276 yards. And of course, the more horsepower you got, actually the easier this tee shot becomes.
Next week, the Florida Swing continues. Frankie, it's a home game for you. That's always nice as we head to Orlando and Bay Hill for the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. Always a good week.
No, it certainly is. Get some home-cooked meals, that's for sure, and get to watch people play. I don't know, I just love the finish at Bay Hill. 16, 17, and 18. So many tournaments where things have gone awry over that very stretch.
And this one slowed up by the leaves, and that's not going to be a great result. And that ball's trajectory definitely altered by the leaves, as that'll wind up in the heavy stuff. .110 to the flagstick. Time to just pick up and move on to the next hole. Here at the par 5 7th at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club, 592 yards. Nothing to fault there, safely in the fairway. Oh, dear, that looks thick in there. Well, I know I'm paid to talk, but there's not really much to say about that. Best to just move on to the next shot. Maybe not what you're hoping for from that number, but no damage. It's on the green. Okay, so problems at the par 5, as that's in for a 7. And with it, he's going to fall even further down this leaderboard, well above par. 8th hole here at the Wetlands, par 3, 203 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, actually, but you have to have a little look at your yardage book, because that front bunker will make this hole look a little shorter to the eye than actually what it plays. Green gets a little narrow as it gets deeper, but flat. And, well, I wouldn't say easy. 3 here, not too bad.
Time to pick up and move on. So that's where this tourney will end for our featured golfer. Their 2-round score falling outside the cut line.
And if you focus on anything other than that, then you're doing yourself a disservice. It happens.
you.